So this poem, this is a word I try not to use anymore, unless I'm talking about myself. And so the title of this poem is Bitch. Bitch, you are sleeping with my man, are the first words I hear when I answer the phone. Bitch, I want some answers from you, he screams, as if it's my fault. Like I held a gun to his man's head, forced his lean frame to settle into my soft folds every Friday. Bitch, I want to know how you met him, as if this matters now. But it was an app, an agreement for anonymous sex. Who knew it would be so good? Who knew it would become a habit, that it might evolve? Bitch, what is he to you? Good question, because the last time Randall's kisses were hungrier, his small talk heavier, subtly changing the rules of engagement. We'd been on this brink for ages, the fall from sex into love. Bitch, you fucking bitch. I accept this condemnation, the anger, all those years of fidelity up in smoke, but I couldn't resist, intoxicated by the scent of Djarums and his dreadlocks that shrouded like a wedding veil as he moved above me. For 2 years, he's been calling my name. I don't even know yours. So, this poem is called I Should Be So Lucky, and it's named after the Kylie Minogue song. I don't know if people here know Kylie Minogue. She's an Australian pop singer. She was on Doctor Who, so if you watch Doctor Who, you'll know. There's a little reference to that in here. I should be so lucky. Kylie Minogue is working the drive-thru at some fast food joint in Middle England. It rises out of a green pasture, solitary, a beckoning trans-fat Stonehenge. Having mastered driving on the left, I roll up to the window, which opens like a vacuum-sealed bag, and the tiny pop princess smiles. Pink lips pull back over perfect teeth, her hair pinned under a paper cap, name emblazoned on a shit-brown uniform. She's hand-jiving to the locomotion, asks if I want fish and chips. The music changes suddenly, turns high-pitched like tinnitus or tuning fork, resonating at time-altering frequency. Just when I think my head might explode, the world goes white and quiet. Kylie reaches through the window, shows me her palm, and tattooed there is 1988. Because it's only make-believe, she sings, then hands me a greasy bag. When I open it, I can see myself inside with Clint, sitting in our high school classroom 20 years ago. Desire as strong as the fetid oil and fat that heat shimmers from the sack. And when I close it, written on the outside, in the creases and stains, are the words, live or die. This is called Things to Do in Denver When You'd Rather Be Dead.
Yes.
Check into a cheap room near the airport on a dusty freeway frontage road. Gorge on delivered pizza, throw it up. Sit cross-legged and meditate in the middle of a king-size bed. Wait for his call. Itemize the cost of this trip you can't afford. Consider leaving early. Acknowledge that flying 1,404 miles to meet a stranger who has charmed you on a sex app is unquestionably stupid. Wait for his call. The leavening of despair to anger. Search for solace in the arms of another on the sex app. irrationally feel guilty, resist the urge to watch porn, binge 2 hours of Kardashians, return to despair, eat the leftover pizza crust, wait for his call, stare out the window into dark Colorado night, the lights of Denver pale against the sky, consider drowning in the indoor pool, pockets weighted with cell phone, books no one bought, incomplete poems. The next morning, when he knocks on the door, excuse at the ready, be already gone. Don't wait for my call. This is called The Unrequited Arsonist.
Yes, 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 yes.
It's not the love itself that burns, but the hunt. From coast to coast, tire scorch and gasoline in my wake, or chemtrails for the flyover states. Watch and wonder where I'll come down hard, wheels sparking tarmac, raising alarms. I made up my mind, and yours, left nothing for the return trip. It was a yes or no question that set me off, your hemming and hawing over our future an accelerant. This is the mystery of combustion you will solve too late. I'm already in your city, your street, your bed, with my hair of embers on your pillow. This has an interesting title. This is a word called, it's ducker, which is a Romani word for fortune teller. The old woman blindsides me in Leicester Square, pushes the scrub of flowers into my fingers, the tinfoil holding the stems damp from her grip. Take them, sweetheart. How about a pound? She is Romani, her head in a scarf, her face a relief map of all the places she has been driven from over the centuries. Her voice an amalgamation of those same lands, touched with a dash of Cockney. I want to hand them back, refuse the offering, go on my way to wherever my way might be, but the woman seizes my hand, holds it fast as our eyes meet. Her face goes slack with pity. You have to get away from him, sweetheart. I drop the coin on the pavement and run, push past tourists and buskers in Piccadilly Circus. Slumped on the steps of Eros, I open my fist to see the flowers, weeds really, staining my skin, filling the lines of my sweaty palm. And here is another map of who I was, who I will be, where I'm going.
Yes. Woo!
So I just have a couple more for you. This is called, I have 3 more for you. They're pretty short though. This is called Ritual.
Yeah.
Jesus taps me lightly on the back, pokes my neck, catches in my hair. Sometimes he slides down my cheek, threatens to put out an eye, hangs suspended on his cross over my lips. Sometimes I catch his toes with my teeth, or open my mouth wide and take him whole, a sacrament, the cold metal sweet with sweat where it has lain on your chest all day. Sometimes Jesus just watches me from a distance, a tiny shadow at the center of your bare back as you sit on the edge of my bed, ready to leave. And sometimes, when Jesus disappears over your shoulder as you pull on your shirt, I confess that I want you to stay. As night turns into morning, glorious to luminous, come back to bed and let's go through the mysteries of the cross once more.
Man.
In the afterlife, my father is a London cab driver. The hotel concierge gestures toward the waiting taxi, its back door already opened. I slide in, say good morning, and an American voice speaks back. Unmistakably my father, dead 3 days, smiling at me in the rearview mirror as he pulls into traffic on Bayswater Road. There's no destination, so we'll make a loop around Hyde Park, long enough for him to tell me to be happy, healthy, and wise, to not give up on the dream of really being here when I wake. Leave it to Daddy-O to leave it this way, to meet me on beloved ground he'd only heard about from my stories or watched on TV. When I think of my father now, he'll always be in London, not gasping like a fish in a hospital bed as his heart went still. His new chosen profession to ferry the living between the stations of their grief, jovially tipping his cap as he drops fares at the corner of the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
And this is the title poem, Midnight in a Perfect World. It has a little epigraph, Russell Square, London. And Tesco is a supermarket. Standing in line at Tesco, clutching milk and batteries, my American life drops away. I blend, become unrecognizable even to my reflection staring back in the frozen foods door. My needled skin like sleeping limbs, as if this perfect night is a dream from which I never want to wake. Thank you.